We're back on the air. My name is Jeffrey Davis. This next guest I think very well. I don't get to see her a lot. She's been on the show before, and she's going to talk to us about guardianship. And I think that is a very important topic for entrepreneurs who are building wealth and building family and cannot be here forever. So it's a great topic. We're going to be speaking with Lisa Cukier of Burns Levinson. Welcome back, Lisa.
Thank you. It's so great to be back here, Jeff.
Thank you. And why is guardianship such a critical topic? And for me, it's an utilized topic because, again, it affects all of us.
Right. Well, guardianship is something that happens at the worst of times, and nobody really wants to have to deal with it. You know, we are all presumed competent, and we have the ability to make our own life choices and choose how we live our lives and how we run our finances and run our families and our businesses. And the only time guardianship becomes an issue is when we're not able to manage our own affairs. And that is really scary. So it's an under-discussed topic because nobody really wants to go there.
And we don't want to make those decisions with people we like or family or people we love because it can create conflict. Even if you're taking care of people, they don't want to necessarily be put in that position.
That's right. You know, I recently had a case because I handle a lot of guardianship litigation and guardianship cases and conservatorship as well. And there was a woman who came into my office and her fiancé of 5 years, who's a businessman, had gone in for very routine surgery. And while he was in surgery and recovering from a successful surgery, he stopped breathing. So the surgeon had called my client to say he made it through surgery just fine, come pick him up, and then called back minutes later, there's been an accident. He stopped breathing. We couldn't get the breathing tube back in on time. He suffered a period of loss of oxygen to his brain. This is a gentleman who's 50 years old. He's young. And he's got 3 children and 1 on the way. And he's got several businesses. And he went into a coma. And he was in a vegetative state immediately upon getting out of surgery and never woke up from surgery. Never
what an awful story.
Recovery. Right. So nobody wants to discuss this stuff.
Right.
It's awful. And she came into my office. They were not yet married, and the child who's on the way is their child. And one of the other 3 is his child, and they were planning to get married shortly. And she said, I don't have any rights as a spouse, and my fiancé is in a coma, and I don't know what to do. We've got a mortgage to pay. We have car payments. I have a child. I'm not working. I've got another one due in December. So she was very pregnant and not working, and didn't know what to do. Didn't know if he would wake up or not. Didn't know if he would pass away or not. And we went into court seeking guardianship and conservatorship. So I'm going to explain the difference between the two. So guardianship is a court appointment that adjudicates a person to lack mental capacity to make their own personal decisions, and the court will appoint a guardian to make personal decisions for that person, such as where they reside, which hospitals they're in, which doctors and care providers treat them, what kinds of medical treatment they receive, what happens in their lives. All sorts of personal decisions that we would otherwise make for ourselves are here made by a guardian. Conservator, on the other hand, a conservatorship appointment is a court appointment that adjudicates a person incapacitated to handle financial decisions. And here this gentleman had support obligations for his 2 children from his prior marriage. He had to support his current daughter and his girlfriend, who was soon to be his wife. He had a house, he had businesses, he had mortgages to pay and payroll to meet and people to manage. And he was not able to do any of that. So we petitioned for guardianship and conservatorship so that there would be a decision maker to make the financial decisions and to transact on his finances for him to keep the businesses afloat, to keep the children fed, and to keep the houses in place. He had a few real estate deals that were going, so there were some time sensitivities because with real estate deals, they come up very quickly. Time is always of the essence, and real estate has to be closed on. You've got to do things. You've got to deal with title issues and other issues that come up in connection with real estate deals. So somebody had to manage it, and very fast. Meanwhile, he had an EEG and other types of testing that showed that he had good brain activity. So although he was in a coma,
There was something going on.
There was something going on. Right. He was completely non-responsive, but something was going on.
Right.
And there was a chance he would wake up. There were also an ex-wife and children from a prior marriage. And so my client's concern was that if he passes away, which was also a distinct possibility, because he was being kept alive mechanically. So if he had passed away, what would happen with the two children, that the one that is about to be born and the one that was already born, that were her and his children, and would there be any support obligation from his estate? So if he passed away, would the two children from my client have an entitlement to support from his estate, or would they be completely shut out because those children were not born during the marriage, because they were not yet married?
If somebody wants to reach you, how would they do that?
So thank you. People can reach me by telephone at work. The number is 617-345-3471, or they can email me at lcukier@burnslev.com, and that's spelled LCUKIER at BURNSLEV.com.